most of us talk about nonprofit organizations, we actually are talking about an organization that has two characteristics. It's a nonprofit corporation under state law, and it's tax exempt under federal tax law.
It doesn't mean that you're prohibited from making a profit. It just means that any profits you do make need to be reinvested into the organization and can't be distributed to private individuals or businesses.
For federal tax law purposes, we talk about tax-exempt organizations, and what we're typically referring to is an organization that's exempt under Section 501c3 of the tax code.
And that type of tax-exempt entity is the only type to which individual contributions are deductible as charitable contributions. A nonprofit corporation is formed by filing articles of incorporation with the Secretary of State, and that is the document that you need to actually incorporate the organization and create a new legal entity for purposes of state law.
There are special provisions that need to be in the articles for a 501c3 organization. For example, you need to limit your activities to exclusively charitable purposes.
The second main document we create are the bylaws. Those are the internal governing documents of the organization. They establish rules for who gets to be on the board of directors and how they take action. If there will be members, that would be addressed in the bylaws as well.
And it's going to be something that you can include a lot of the detail that you can work out internally without having to file it as a public document.
If you apply for tax exemption as a 501c3 organization, you will have the burden of proving that you qualify to be a C3. And you do this by submitting an application to the IRS, making a case that you are charitable. And this is charitable as the IRS views it.
And so you're going to have to describe what you're going to be doing and who's going to be doing it for the IRS in quite a bit of detail.
It includes a number of different questions and schedules about your activities, about your financials, and then it also requires you to submit a narrative kind of making your case as to why you qualify as a C3.
Whatever you describe as your activities on the 1023 is actually going to define what the IRS considers to be your charitable activities going forward.
The Form 1023 can be filed up to 27 months after your date of formation to still have retroactive effect to the date of formation. The IRS response can be very slow. Currently, it's about 9 months from the time of application to the time of processing.
The final step in getting your nonprofit organization up and running is making sure that you've filed with the Attorney General's office.
In Minnesota, if you will be conducting charitable activities and soliciting contributions for those activities, or if you're just going to hold charitable assets, you're required to register with the Minnesota Attorney General's office.
If you're going to solicit contributions in other states, make sure that you're checking with those other states as well for their charitable solicitation and registration requirements.
Formation of a new nonprofit involves an investment of time and money, and you need to make sure at the beginning that what the organization will do qualifies as charitable.
It's the portion where you are trying to obtain recognition of your exempt status from the IRS that's going to be the time-consuming step.
But the incorporation step, which is formation of the entity, can be done very quickly.